Okay, these are the risky decisions that I made and the reason why we have to move. A lot of the videos that I posted are DIY creations, and all of those videos have been for a property that I was renovating to Airbnb. I haven't disclosed publicly, for reasons that will become obvious, is the fact that that particular property is in my backyard. Actually, let me show you. That's my house, and there's no way to get to this other property unless you go by my house. That is the house I've been working on. We went over time, we went over budget, plus I did a lot of fun, crazy things, and I spent more money than I probably should have. And because of that, we had to sell our other two properties that we had to pay for the renovations. It was rented almost all the time. In the winter, it doesn't make a lot of money. It was just enough to pay its bills and maybe give us $1,000 extra. Starting right now is when we were gonna be making all of our money from that property in the realm of $5,000 to $6,000 extra every month from renting that on Airbnb. However, I'm gonna go back upstairs. After I finished the renovations of that property, I spent 3 or 4 months creating an interior design personality system along with a book and a bunch of purchasing guides, and that's what I spent all my time on. And I was launching that knowing that I could rely on the income from the Airbnb to live on while I was launching my business and developing a stream of income from that. And here's where the really stupid decisions on my part comes in. You can judge me if you want. I know that it was a bad decision and you shouldn't do the same thing that I did. You can't access that house unless you go through my house. And also, the mail goes to my mailbox. I thought that I should just decide that the carriage house was my primary residence and to tell the city as such. Well, one of our neighbors decided that that was not right and that they should report us and tell the city that I wasn't an owner occupant and that I shouldn't be able to rent the house out because I didn't have the right kind of permit, which was true. I didn't. I said I was living at the house and I wasn't, and the city called me out and they said, you can't rent it because you have the wrong kind of permit. Can I get the right kind of permit? Well, I could apply for the permit, but that process takes 6 months. And we can't rent it out as a short-term rental during that 6 months. We could rent it out. However, the amount of money that we would make during that 6 months would be enough to cover the property, but that's it. We wouldn't get any money to live on. And I probably could have figured this all out and dealt with it all, except for the other thing that I was dealing with is the fact that I have a TBI and I have been suffering with panic attacks and anxiety and ideation for months now, which I have been trying to get help for. So anything I've been doing, I've barely been like holding on, like trying to get through this all, and all the stress of everything all at once just like collapsing on top of me, that getting reported from our neighbors, the city coming to our property and taking away our permit, and then on top of that, my business, which I had just spent forever on, just wasn't launching. It wasn't taking off. It still has a possibility of launching. It hasn't yet, which is, it's fine. But with everything crumbling on top of me, I literally had a mental breakdown. I couldn't handle life. It was horrible, and my parents decided to step in and say, hey, we got you. You need to take some time off. You need to lessen your stress. How about you move off of your husband's income and that alone, and not have to worry about these massive bills that you have to pay. Then we can get back on our feet. We can figure out the situation with the permits, and eventually we can move back into our house.